Hi babes, welcome back to my channel. So I know it's been a few weeks since I filmed, but I thought I would take the time today to not do a makeup video, but instead kind of talk about myself and specifically my weight loss journey, I guess. So just some trigger warnings before anyone is watching this. This is going to be talking about weight loss, food, just some body image issues, I guess. So if any of this is triggering to you, leave this. I don't want to be triggering anyone or like putting anyone's mental health in a bad position. One other thing, I'm not a professional by any means. This video is really kind of just about me and my journey, my personal feelings. If you feel like you're going through something much more severe, eating disorders or body dysmorphia, whatever it may be, obviously talk to a professional. I'm not a professional. Go get help. There's no shame in it, and I love you and I'm sending you good vibes. Talk a bit about myself. So my Instagram is more of a fitness Instagram. I post a lot of workout videos. I post sometimes about like the food that I'm eating. I post some transformation pictures. I'm a personal trainer on the side. So on Instagram a couple weeks ago I asked if anyone had any questions kind of about my weight loss journey, about fitness, about food or anything. I kind of felt like I was getting to the point where I was ready to talk about it in a much more vulnerable position, I guess. I'm just gonna get into a background about myself. In 2018, I joined Weight Watchers with my mom. I was in like a really weird place in my life. Probably the hardest time in my life back then. I was studying in film studies, applied to university, and I got rejected from film. What did I get rejected from? Anyway, I got rejected. I hated it. Hated it so much. I made no friends. I spent hours watching these freaking movies in class. I watched Twilight at some point. Imagine spending like, I don't know how much university is. And my first class I watched Twilight. I watched fucking Twilight. Ridiculous. And so I joined Weight Watchers. That's obviously what really transformed my body because I wasn't eating right. I was exercising, and even the exercising I wasn't doing perfectly at the time. But my eating was really what was off. So between like 60 and 70 pounds I've lost. So I'm gonna get into the questions. The first question is when I realized I had an unhealthy relationship with food and like what my relationship with food is or was. So when I joined Weight Watchers, it's kind of like a point system. So everything that you eat is worth a point. And they encourage you to kind of go for like lower points of things like vegetables, things like fruit, things like protein, like good healthy food. Those are worth less points, obviously. And then things that are unhealthy are worth more points. And that's kind of what made me realize that I was not eating right. The thing is, when you're eating unhealthy, like, you know, you're not eating a whole freaking cake and you're like, oh my god, I might lose weight while I do this. Like, you know that eating like a cake and eating McDonald's, you know it's not healthy. Like, you're aware, but it's like, it's kind of not clicking for you to stop. And I don't mean like stop like completely like get rid of your life, but I just mean like in general, like it just wasn't clicking for me. Like, I knew what I was doing, I knew what I was eating, but it like wasn't clicking to me almost what it was going to be doing or what it was doing to my body. But when I joined Weight Watchers and I kind of saw the point value to things, that's when I was like, my eating habits were completely out of hand. I would take the train and bus and walk to work at the time where I used to work. I used to sometimes like run for the bus after I got off the train, and I would take the earlier bus. I would get off a couple stops earlier and I would go to Tim Hortons and I would buy an iced cap, a blueberry muffin, and a breakfast sandwich. Like during warm weather, not during winter. I'm not crazy. I would do this like almost like 2 or 3 times a week. Going to Weight Watchers and seeing the point value of things that I used to eat on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, kind of made me realize like this isn't good for my body. So I think that's when I realized that I had an unhealthy relationship with food. I struggle emotionally when it comes to eating. It's still a difficult relationship. I still go through guilt moments. I'm in a much better place now than I was at the beginning of my weight loss journey. Like, I remember at the very beginning, it was in February. I started Weight Watchers 2018, January. We went out to dinner for my best friend's mom's birthday. Down to the dessert is red velvet. Like, I am a slut for red velvet. I fucking love it. And like my parents know how much I love red velvet. And I just remember like seeing the cupcake there. It felt like it was giving me like the death stare. Like, I had been so good all week. And then my parents saw that I wasn't eating it. They're like, why aren't you having the cupcake? Like, it's red velvet. It's your favorite. Like, if I eat this, I'm like, it's blowing my whole entire week. Everyone at the dinner table like eating their cupcake, and I was like, they don't even think of like what this is doing to their body. But whew, I was not expecting to get emotional. Okay. We're wearing mascara, Alyssa. We're wearing mascara. We have a whole face. We can't cry during this video. Okay. And I was watching everyone like eat their cupcake, like kind of not assuming, right? Like you always assume about other people's lives. Like, eat it without an issue type of thing. And for me, I was like, if I eat this, like it's gonna throw everything off. Like it's gonna make me like redo everything. It's gonna make me like do this and do that. Like all these terrible and guilty thoughts. My parents like really calmed me down. They're like, Alyssa, like you've been good all week. It's a fucking cupcake. You're not gonna gain 10 pounds, 5 pounds from a fucking cupcake. Eat the goddamn cupcake. And I did, and it was fucking delicious. And I'm happy that I did eat the freaking red velvet cupcake. I still have hard times when it comes to food. I still have that emotional and that guilt, but I'm in a better place. Like I don't feel as bad when I have the things that I want. What I started asking myself when it came to unhealthy food, is it worth it? Is it worth it right now? Do I really want it? Am I bored? Am I emotional? As long as like I'm good for the week or like I'm good for most of the days, like having what I want, what I deserve, what I think is worth it at that moment doesn't make me feel as guilty anymore. And I'm really happy that I'm at a better point when it comes to the guilt and the relationship that I have with food. My next question was kind of about my support system. I had such a good support system. Going through the Weight Watchers with my mom, it was really supportive. I have amazing friends. They were super encouraging of my journey. I was happy that I wasn't like let's say if I was going out to dinner with friends, like it wasn't a, oh, you're not gonna have dessert, or like, oh my god, you are gonna have dessert. Like I never went through that with my really good friends. It's one thing like you have your own thoughts in your head, like I didn't need everyone else's in my head. So happy to have a really good support system, have really good best friends. So my next question was kind of about the mental strength that it takes during the weight loss and how it's sometimes overlooked, and I 100% agree. Like the mental strength is so much more difficult to reach than the physical strength. Like everyone can do a squat, maybe not perfectly right away, but eventually everyone can go and do a squat. So much easier than if you were to compare it mentally of like actually going out and doing it. I talk about this a lot when people message me over Instagram, finding your why. Like, and that was kind of from Weight Watchers as well. Like if you don't have a good why, you're never gonna commit. Like find your why and like let that motivate you. It takes that good mental health to keep you going and to keep you happy while doing this. My next question was kind of, how do I not manage to make the weight loss an obsession, like the scale on the number an obsession? I've actually been going through this now. Like I had such a bad day once when I came back from Weight Watchers. This was like a month and a half ago almost, where I had not gone to Weight Watchers in a really long time, and I knew I was putting a few pounds back, and I had. I was so emotional that day. Drama queen. For me, what I did is that, first of all, I haven't been to Weight Watchers in a long time. It's actually kind of made me feel good to get away from the scale. First of all, I would only weigh myself once a week, which was at Weight Watchers. But if you're weighing yourself every day, like stop. Like please, this is your sign. Please stop. Like once a week is fine enough. If you find like you're obsessing over that number on the scale, put it away for a while. A lot of people talk about like how they completely got rid of it, like they don't need it. It was triggering to them. It was making them feel bad about themselves. And if that's the case, then throw it out. Whatever's gonna make you feel good, do it. But if the scale is kind of getting to you, put it away. Try a week if you can, another week. I haven't weighed myself in like a month, and honestly I feel so much better. I'm still making good decisions with my body. I'm still meal prepping. I'm working out when I can. I'm doing what's gonna make my body feel good, and eventually I probably will go back onto that scale. I just took a break, and I think if you're obsessing over the weight loss, take a break off the scale and just do the things that's going to make your body feel good. My next question was kind of about my mindset, my mentality. I feel like I've kind of talked about it throughout these last couple of questions. I'm someone that loves to work out. It's just a passion. Once you love it, it just makes it easier and it makes it more fun as well. If you're working out because you had like a cheat meal the night before and you're doing it out of guilt, like that's not going to be fun. You're not going to feel good about it. So I think that is important when it comes to my mentality. Like, am I enjoying this? So my next question was how women feel a lot more pressure during weight loss throughout their whole entire life. Whew, it's a big subject. So yes, I do agree that women obviously go through so much more pressure when it comes to their appearance. Like, just texting my best friend, I'm like, oh, do you know how hard it is to be a girl? Like, one hair out of place and you're ugly. At such a young age, it's advertised, it's in the media, it's around you. Like, I have felt so much shame about my body at such a young age. Like I probably can't even tell you into words how I was feeling, but I feel like if I look back into it, I'm like, it was shame. Like I felt so much shame about my body at like before I even fucking hit puberty. That's crazy. You know, obviously men go through it too. Like I have guys that message me too over Instagram that kind of want to talk about weight loss, and obviously they go through it too. You know, they see pictures of Cristiano Ronaldo with like his fucking 12 pack and like they think they need to rise up to that. They think that that's what women are gonna like. They go through it too, and I feel you. Like I fully agree that, you know, it's just as important for men to feel good about their body and for men to know that you don't need to have that Cristiano Ronaldo 12 pack. Everything comes from what we see from society, what we see trending, what we see on the media. You know, growing up, maybe again I'm speaking out of term, I also have really terrible memory. There weren't models like Ashley Graham on big billboards. You never saw it. I saw, you know, the constant same white little petite girl on billboards and on TV and in movies. Growing up, I really believed that skinny meant beautiful. Like anything else more was unattractive. Like I genuinely felt that way, and I feel horrible that I felt that way. So much pressure, like it's ridiculous. You wear too much makeup, like you're fake, you're not wearing makeup, you get constantly told how fucking tired you look. You gain weight, like people will tell you you're losing weight, people are telling you. Sometimes it's other women telling you these things. So none of your business what I look like. It really isn't. I do see things changing. Like I think we all see it changing. I think we're heading to a better place. I hope. But I do find that there is a lot more pressure for young girls out there. And so the guys that are going through this too, like I just want to emphasize, you're fucking hot, dude. My next question is someone who has also been through weight loss. They're just saying that they're still self-critical, if it'll ever be enough, and how do I kind of go on about it. I still go through it. I'm still critical over my body, you know, like especially the days that I'm bloated. Two things that I mentioned before that are really important when you're kind of going through this is one, having a really good support system, and two, getting rid of the scale for a while. That can maybe help you stop being so self-critical. Like when I'm having my bad days, like my mom or my boyfriend, they're like, look how far you've come. Think of that for yourself as well. If you've been through a weight loss, like just look how far you've come. Like you've made it this far. There's no reason for you to be so self-critical of yourself. Like you've done such an amazing job. Don't feel bad when, you know, you don't look the way you want to look right away. You're still going. Like just keep pushing. Like you've got this. Have good people in your life that are just going to encourage you to feel good about yourself. It's going to make you so much less self-critical. And two, getting rid of the scale for a while. If you find that you're like so criticizing your body, like just get rid of it. You don't have to throw it out if that's not what you want. For a moment, get rid of it. I think it's going to make you feel a lot better and stop being so hard on your body. Like I mentioned before, I'm not a professional. I hope, you know, if it is to that point, that you go get the help that you deserve because you are worth it. So my next question was kind of about if people started treating me differently during my weight loss, during my success. Fuck yeah. First that I noticed is that I found people were treating me with actual more respect. Like I was being heard more. People were noticing me. People were listening to me. At first I was like, and then when I kind of thought about it, I'm like, I never had this before. And the only thing that's really changed the way I looked, I mean, I guess maybe if you want to argue back, you can say maybe I was a bit more confident and I had more energy and I was like maybe standing up for myself more and I was giving that energy off to people, so people are like, oh, like she's demanding respect. Maybe that's what it could have been, but to me it was kind of like, it was weird. Like, it almost seemed like I didn't deserve the respect before, which is just fucked up and really dumb. And just things like people now commenting. People feel the need or like feel like it's okay to comment on my body now. Like people that knew me before and during and now, and they see like how my body has changed, like they feel the need to comment on it like all the fucking time. I remember I was eating oatmeal once. Oatmeal. Let me repeat this. Oatmeal. And this one was like, oh my god, you're eating oatmeal? So much sugar, so much carbs, it's so bad for you. It was fucking oatmeal. No one was commenting when I was like walking with Tim Hortons every single day. But for some reason now, like I'm eating fucking oatmeal and we gotta call like the fucking food cops. The constant of like, oh, you're disappearing now. Like you don't want to look too skinny. Oh, you're gonna look like a stick. No, guys like sticks. Like guys like girls with curves. Like it was both like fat shaming and skinny shaming. It was fucking weird. It was a weird time. People just felt like they had the right to comment on my body and tell me what to do with it all of a sudden. As far as my friends, I'm eternally grateful for them loving me and treating me the same. throughout the whole time. So the next two questions, and I guess the last two questions, they're kind of the same. It was kind of like talking about consistency and like how I committed to these healthier habits. I meal prep for myself, so that helps me be consistent. Like everything that I'm going to eat throughout the weeks, they're there, they're available, they're made. And because I'm so poor, it's like, bitch, you can't even afford to like change your mind. Whatever's in your lunch bag, that's what you're fucking eating. I like to look at my transformation pictures when I'm being hard on myself, when I'm, you know, maybe I have put on a few more pounds. I just look at my transformation pictures and I think I've come so far that it's really motivating for me to just think of like how far I've come and how strong I am now. People that message me and tell me like they struggle to go to the gym consistently, find a class that you enjoy. It should motivate you to want to go. So I encourage to find a class or a sport that you like that's going to make you feel to be more consistent and having to staying active in your life. Anyway, I really just tried to answer the best to my abilities. I talk a lot. Sometimes I don't really get to the point and I forget what the question was and I like lose my train of thought. I'm really sorry. Whenever you're watching this, I hope you have a great week and I'm sending you all the love and positivity. So, bye babes.